Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I will teach you how to pass a Scrum Master interview. So it does not matter which organisation or company you are being interviewed for the position of Scrum Master. Please do make sure you tune in and watch this video from beginning through till the end, because it will make a huge difference to your preparation. Not only am I going to give you a number of Scrum Master interview questions that are pretty much guaranteed to come up during your interview, but I will also give you some top scoring suggested answers to make sure you are the standout candidate. Now, before I do that, a very warm welcome to the Scrum Master interview training tutorial. My name is Richard McMunn. That's me there in the center of the screen. I am a former fire officer for 17 years. And since then, I've been helping people for about 20 years now to pass their interviews. And I do that primarily by giving you top scoring, unique and concise answers you can't find anywhere else on the internet. Please do make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button below the video, and then you are not going to miss out on any of the weekly insider interview training videos that I'm uploading. And I would also very much appreciate your support if you gave the video a like. That always motivates me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, let's get into those Scrum Master interview questions and answers. Now, you can either take notes as I progress, or if you want to wait, I will tell you at some stage during this video where you can download my full set of 20 Scrum Master interview questions and answers. So, first question that I want you to prepare for during your Scrum Master interview is, tell me about yourself and why you want to work in this role as our Scrum Master. So, as you and I know, being a Scrum Master requires a unique set of skills, qualities, and attributes. So we want to start off and give the hiring manager a brilliant, positive answer that demonstrates you are capable of performing the role to a competent high level. Here we go. I want to work in the role of Scrum Master because the essential skills, the qualities and the attributes needed to perform successfully are the ones I possess. Over the years, the experiences I have gained have enabled me to be effective as a Scrum Master. I am extremely driven, supportive, adaptable, and I hold excellent problem-solving capabilities that enable me to facilitate and lead a team towards its goals. I always develop and maintain excellent working relationships with the teams I am working with. I know what level of influence to exert on a team, and I also possess a relentless pursuit of continuous improvement and development with all teams I am the Scrum Master for. Now, I understand from your perspective this is a difficult role to fill, but based on my past experiences, my passion for the role and my excellent interpersonal and communication skills, I feel strongly you will be impressed with my work ethics, my integrity, my values, and more importantly, the results I will produce as your Scrum Master. So that is a rock solid, positive answer. It is in depth, but I prefer in-depth answers. And based on the fact that lots and lots of people are passing their interviews after watching my videos, this is the method I want you to follow. Now, of course, you can either repeat that word for word if it is a match for what you believe in and your skills, or you can take notes of the elements of that response that you think are most suited to you personally and professionally. Second question of your Scrum Master interview: why should we hire you as our Scrum Master? So why should we hire you? This is another interview question for what makes you the standout candidate. Here is my suggested answer. I believe you should hire me because I have the past experiences and qualities to deliver consistent results for you. As a Scrum Master, I will help the team reach agreement on all tasks, projects and deadlines, conduct productive and progressive daily Scrum meetings, and also keep everyone focused on what we have all agreed during the meetings. I will also ensure I effectively remove any obstacles and barriers the team faces along the way. I am someone who always acts with honesty and integrity, and you have my word that I will work extremely hard to deliver the results I'm responsible and accountable for as the Scrum Master. So another great response. By the way, if you are on LinkedIn and you want to connect with me, I have put my LinkedIn connection in the description below the video so you can connect and just say hello if you want to. Question number 3 of your Scrum Master interview. In your opinion, what is a successful Scrum Master? So this is assessing your understanding of the job description and, more importantly, the person's specification. Here is my answer. I believe a successful Scrum Master is someone who can meet the objectives that are defined by their employer, which in this case is you. A successful Scrum Master is also someone who has a clear understanding and grasp of both leadership and facilitation. As a Scrum Master, you need to know when to lead situations and also when to simply facilitate the team to help them achieve their goals. A successful Scrum Master is also someone who can help a team reach its full potential by both encouraging and enabling its members. And to be successful, you need breadth of knowledge in respect of the product you are helping the team to develop and also the market within which that product falls in. Finally, you need to be a strong relationship builder and an influencer. So another strong answer. And you will notice, even though we're only, I think, 3 questions in to our Scrum Master preparation, you'll notice that a lot of my responses are literally loaded with positive keywords and phrases. And I believe that's important because they will resonate positively with the interviewer and it helps you to be the standout candidate. Question number 4. Tell us about an issue you had with a stakeholder and what you did to resolve it. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be in a role as a previous Scrum Master. You could have worked in a different role as perhaps a project manager or project coordinator. The important thing is that they are assessing here is your ability to resolve situations and take responsibility for them. Taking ownership of situations is a unique skill that not many people have, but it is vital if you are to be an effective leader or a Scrum Master. So here is my suggested answer to the interview question. Tell us about an issue you had with a stakeholder and what you did to resolve it. In a previous role, I was responsible for facilitating the completion of a time-sensitive project. Now, the project was progressing extremely well. However, as time went on, one particular stakeholder was starting to stall on the delivery of their part of the project specification. It was my job as the project facilitator to speak to the stakeholder in order to find out why there was a delay. And more importantly, what we could do to speed things up to ensure the project completed successfully. Despite trying to make contact with the stakeholder, they would not return my calls, and so I decided to jump on the train and make my way to their offices. When I arrived, it was clear they did not share the same enthusiasm for the project as me, and their CEO adopted an entirely defensive attitude. He had effectively underquoted for the work, and as a result, they were operating at a loss for this particular project. I explained in very clear terms how their inaction was going to impact massively on not just everyone who had a vested interest in the project, but also the end user, which in this case was a local hospital. I used effective negotiation and persuasion techniques to explain how any failure with the project could impact negatively on their company from a local media perspective, and that it was imperative they delivered on their promises. The CEO eventually came around to my way of thinking, and he promised to deliver their side of the project on time. Now, from that day on, I kept in regular contact with the CEO to make sure he kept to his word, which he did do, and the project was finally completed on time and to the required specification. Now, if you just quickly look at how I have structured that answer, I have used a common technique, an effective technique called the STAR technique. So you start off and you tell them the situation you were in. You then explain the task that needed to be done. And then the bulk of the answer is the action that you took. And then finally, you finish off with the results of your actions. And in that response, you'll see that I've used a short story that explains how I took ownership of a situation. And I also used effective persuasion and negotiation techniques to get somebody to complete their side of the project, which everybody was dependent upon. Next question of your Scrum Master interview. Tell me how you would facilitate a daily Scrum meeting. So as you and I know, as a Scrum Master, you will need to hold daily Scrum meetings. What would you do during your Scrum meeting? Here is my suggested answer. The daily Scrum meeting is absolutely vital in ensuring the team is focused on what they need to achieve. It is also vital in providing me with information and details on what it is, if anything, that is preventing the team from achieving its objectives. And on that basis, I would ask 3 very specific questions during the team Scrum meetings. The questions I would ask are what the team had achieved the previous day, what they were planning to achieve on that particular day, and also what was preventing them from achieving their objectives. So to summarise, I would use the daily Scrum meetings to focus the team and use my expertise and experience to influence and facilitate the team moving forward towards their goal. Really strong answer. Next interview question, how would you deal with discord or conflict in a team? So again, this doesn't have to necessarily be a situation as a Scrum Master. You might have been in a previous role where you took ownership and dealt with discord or conflict within a team. So we've already tackled the question about dealing with an external stakeholder, But what happens within a team? How do we resolve this or facilitate it? Here is my suggested answer. I believe there are 5 important steps to follow when resolving or facilitating the resolution of conflict in a team. The first step is to identify the main cause of the issue. If you don't know the exact reasons for the problem, then you cannot resolve it. Step 2 will be to hold discussions, most probably during the daily Scrum meetings, to openly talk about the discord and what the team could do to resolve it. Step 3 would be to explore different ways the team could resolve the discord or conflict. And it would be important at this stage to listen to both sides, understand the issues and look to stop it as soon as possible by ensuring everyone cooperated with the proposed resolution. Step 4 would be the agreement of a definitive way forward for the team, while step 5 would be to regularly revisit the progress the team was making through open discussions during the daily Scrum meetings. And what I particularly like about that response is that you are following a number of steps, which in this case is 5, to achieving your objectives of resolving discord or conflict. So that demonstrates to the interviewer that you know exactly what to do and you already have experience in this situation and you have a process that you would follow that is tried and tested and that it works. Next question of your Scrum Master interview, which is guaranteed to come up. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Now this might be divided into 2 questions, but I've put it into 1. So what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Now you will notice in this answer, I give a number of strengths, but I only give 1 weakness. But the important thing when given a weakness during any interview is to make sure that that weakness does not harm your chances of success. So if you were to say during a Scrum Master interview, I don't feel very confident or I'm not very good at facilitating, then you won't be getting the job. So make sure the weakness that you give is obviously honest and genuine, but that it is one that will not damage your chances of successfully passing the interview. Here is my suggested answer. I have numerous strengths that I feel will enable me to excel in the role of a Scrum Master. These include my ability to deliver consistent, proven results for my employer, exceptional influencing and facilitating skills, and also strong interpersonal and relationship building capabilities. In respect of my weakness, I sometimes find it difficult to strike a healthy work-life balance. In the past, I've literally been working 16 to 18-hour days during some difficult and complex projects whilst being Scrum Master, and obviously this can be unhealthy if you maintain that level of work for a long period of time. Now, having said that, as the years go by, I am becoming a smarter and more intelligent Scrum Master while still being passionate and fully committed to the role. So whilst you are given a weakness, you are also saying that, I am looking to improve and develop, which as you and I know is an important aspect of being a Scrum Master. But you'll notice that that weakness is actually quite intelligent in some ways. And that has been one of my own personal weaknesses in the past, where I've worked so hard, because you're so committed to it, that can be unhealthy. But from an employer's perspective, that would be music to their ears, that you are prepared to work long hours. Okay, if you would like my full set of 20 great answers to your Scrum Master interview, there's a link that's appeared in the top right hand corner of this video. If you click it, it will take you through to that website, passmyinterview.com, which I founded a few years ago, and it's designed to get as many people as possible to pass their interviews, and we are having a huge amount of success with it. So I've included all of those. I think there's 7 answers that I've given you there, but you'll get another 13 top scoring answers to help you prepare for your Scrum Master interview. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please don't forget to subscribe. I very much appreciate your support within this community. We've got about 200,000 subscribers now, so we're growing at a rate of about 1,000 a day. Make sure you take part within the community. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section below. And also, would you appreciate it if you gave the video a like? As I say, that motivates me to create more content for you. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you very much indeed. And I wish you all the best for passing your Scrum Master interview. I hope you have a brilliant day. Thank you very much.